Hello and welcome to the weather report on January 21st, 2025. A pretty cold and cloudy day as we're dealing with the periphery of these clouds from this storm system, this historic storm system that is bringing winter weather and snow, and I mean the record-breaking snow in the Gulf. You can see it here on the satellite. Very impressive storm right here that we have here. But this will move away and we'll get into an area of high pressure once as we get to tomorrow here. So these clouds will be pushed aside. Almost looks like it's actually putting a secondary front in here. So this is going to just help reinforce the cold air. You can see here on the weather map here. Here's the surface analysis. You can see a secondary cold front actually over western Pennsylvania. And there's the low pressure system, and there is your snow event here. And it is historic. You can see that light snow even just touching maybe a little bit of a flurry maybe on the South Fork, maybe Montauk. But this all stretches down from this storm system, and I mean, there is some heavy snow going on here. Places like Myrtle Beach, into part Georgia, southern Georgia, dealing with heavy snow. You got a little icing going on, and in parts of southern Georgia, and then as we head into Florida, snow in Tallahassee, Panama City. It was snowing in New Orleans earlier. This is pretty crazy stuff going on from the storm system. So it's really, really impressive for sure. And you can see here, this is a first ever blizzard warning issued along Gulf Coast. This historic winter storm blast south. Houston was a ghost town. A snowfall on historic levels. So Houston, it is snowing in Houston, which is very rare. All right, and these are some of the amounts of snow. There was even thunder snow reported in Louisiana, 9.5 inches in Lafayette. So this is state of emergency has been declared in Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, and Mississippi, with schools and businesses shut down due to the snowstorm. And remember, they don't have plows for snow in these areas. So really, New Orleans reported 3 inches of snow in just 2 hours Tuesday, with 5 inches, a total of 5 inches more snow than any other snowstorm in the city since at least 1948. However, in the late 1800s and early 1900s, New Orleans saw several heavy snowstorms, including one that had 14.4 inches, so not breaking the record there, but still very rare snowfall. Last time it snowed was 2009 in New Orleans. 1988 in Louisiana, Gulfport 2014. So very, very unusual to see. Some people have said it's the first time they've ever seen snow. Here's snow on a Texas beach. So really, we're just seeing the clouds from this, but very, very, very impressive to see this type of thing in New Orleans. And actually, we can go to EarthCam. Actually, I want to just go to EarthCam, and we're going to take a look at. They have a New Orleans camera, and you'll see. Louisiana here, New Orleans, Bourbon Street. Let's see. I think we're going to go to the balcony one. Look at that. Snow on the ground in New Orleans. That's crazy. And it was coming down earlier. If we go back a little earlier. Look at it. Coming down. This is New Orleans, folks. Snowing in New Orleans. Yeah. Yeah, that's a very rare sight, and it's going to be a long time before we see that again. Just really incredible to see that. So there you go. But the storm is moving. It's moving eastbound, so these clouds will eventually erode away, and we'll have the skies clear out. Let's take a look at what's going on in our area. And first of all, you can see again all these, what do we got? Blizzard warnings in effect, winter storm warnings, extreme cold warnings for even the Florida Panhandle. Winter storm warnings in effect for much of Georgia. Freeze warnings for northern Florida. And look at this. You can have cold weather alerts cold weather advisory for central Florida. That includes Orlando. And then as we go into Louisiana here, extreme cold warning. Winter storm warning still in effect for New Orleans. I guess that's still there right now. It should be expiring. It should have expired. And then we also have, what is this, another cold weather advisory and freeze warning for southern Texas, and you can see the light blue, the blue, including New Jersey too. By the way, we don't have it in our area, but you can see. And then over here we've got, what do we got over here? Extreme cold warnings for looks like parts of the Great Lakes, and there's probably lake effect snow, heavy freezing snow warning, heavy freezing spray warning in effect, and then we've got these lake effect snow warnings too. So if we go back that radar, which should pull back up again, I guess, you'll see here. Yeah, you can see the lake effect snow heading into Watertown. It looks like so those areas are getting hit hard. Still around Buffalo. So although it's been cold, the lake still hasn't frozen over yet enough to get rid of the lake effect snow threat that's going on. So again, pretty crazy stuff. Pretty crazy cold. Let's look at some observations now. And today we really didn't make it out of the teens. It's 18 at Islip. Dew point is down to 1. No radiation or cooling because we got the cloud cover. 18 at Kabreski Airport. We'll see how they did this morning. The winds aren't too bad. Light northwest winds. But as you head, you can see, look at all these cold temperatures here. Single digits in Pennsylvania. And below 0 in areas along in Ohio. Stretching into Chicago. But look at how far south these cold temperatures extend down into, look at this Georgia, 20s into Georgia. Hard to see with all these shades where the cities are. Just this a little easier to see. Let's see what it is in Atlanta. 25 in Atlanta right now. And only hit 30 in Atlanta. So let's see. We've got look at this, 34 in Jacksonville, Florida. All right, let's go further south. Let's see what it is in Orlando. 44. Got up to 60, but now it's 44. Let's see Palm Beach. Even that, let's go down to Palm Beach here. All right, 66. All right, the front hasn't passed through that area yet, but north of them, because they got a stall front over Florida, but you can see 55 at Sebring. That's not too crazy, but the northern part of the state, really 30s. I mean, Gainesville 34. That's extremely cold. Tallahassee's 33. Northeast wind and snow being reported. Probably. Let's see if we can get an observation from an airport here. Tallahassee and unknown precip. It's obviously snow. Maybe some mixed precipitation over there. But you got, look at this, all the way down to the Gulf Coast. 20s. 23 in Pensacola, Florida. 23 in Pensacola. That is unbelievable. And it only hit 33 today. These winds are pretty strong, too. New Orleans, let's see, we got 30. 26, look at these wind gusts. So it's really, I mean, normally I cover the Long Island weather, but this is really unbelievable. New Orleans, 30 degrees in New Orleans. Yeah, I think New Orleans is over here. Actually, no, it's over here. Yeah, 32 degrees. There's going to be ice on Lake Pontchartrain. So that's all the way down to the Gulf. That's incredible. And that air gets over those warm Gulf waters. There's going to be a lot of crazy snow banding going on offshore, I'm sure. I wouldn't even be surprised if there's thunderstorms. That's why I wasn't surprised that there was thunder snow with this. And look at how cold, even down to Brownsville, 36 degrees. That's unbelievable. Further north in Texas, you're below freezing. So, yeah, really, really unusual stuff to see this. Really unusual. But let's get back into our area. And obviously, you're 18. We'll go over and look at our highs on the map. Let's observations, and we'll look at our high temperatures. And you'll see that the temperatures today, let's see what we got up to. Load this up. Only 19 at Islip. So 19, only just around 20 degrees. The city only got to 19, so it didn't even, some spots maybe close to 20, but most places didn't. Let's see, Toms River, let's see what they got to. 21, 19 at Miller Air Park was really official, so they didn't really break 20 either. What's this? Heavy freezing spray advisories now. So it's going to be freezing spray over the water, I guess. Pretty crazy. Let's look at our lows because I have a feeling it was pretty cold this morning. Let's see. Islip got down to 9. West Hampton got down to 0. Not surprising. The Pine Barrens got down to 0, as I said they would. Yeah, 11 in Central Park. So that's pretty cold. Coldest, not record-breaking cold, but it's the coldest we've had in a couple of years because the past 2 winters have been very mild, and we didn't get to have temperatures like this. 1 degree at Miller Air Park, so it looks like West Hampton was colder than that. But if we go to the north and the west, it was even colder than that. Below 0 in some of these areas here. Sussex County at 9 below. Yeah, as you head upstate, it really gets cold. Albany probably got below 0 too, I bet. Let's see. Yeah, they got down to -1. So, yep. So, pretty cold out there. Pretty cold. The question is how cold. We had the radiational cooling last night, but right now we've got clouds. So, it's all going to depend on how fast these clouds get on out of here. Let's look at our statistics on here. High at 20 at Islip. So according to this site, it's at 20 at Islip. So we did get to 20 at Islip. That's still 19 degrees below normal for the high. The low of 9 was 15 degrees below normal, and that put us 16 degrees below normal. A mean of 15 at Islip. We'll look at Central Park as well. I don't think there were any records, but I don't see any record reports here. Again, as cold as it is, we're not breaking cold records, which still tells you something. We always break warm records, but not cold records. Central Park only got to 19. Low was 11. That's 20 degrees below normal for the high, and 18 degrees below normal for the day. So, yeah, quite a departure from normal. So let's go look at the models now. We'll run this off, and we'll go ahead and look at the models. So let's take a look at what we have going into tomorrow here on the GFS. So this is, you can see that high pressure going to build in tomorrow. It should push the clouds from that storm system away. The question is how quick those clouds clear out. If those clouds don't clear out tonight, then that's going to put a lid on the radiational cooling aspect of things. But the sun should be back out tomorrow. High pressure builds over us. And then we start seeing that high move offshore for Thursday, and that's going to mean a moderation in temperatures. All right, I'm only going to cover the weather from between now and Thursday in this video. So let's go to the HRRR. So you can see the HRRR there. That little bit, I don't think we'll see any. There may be a couple of flurries on the South Fork, like Montauk and East Hampton, but other than that, clouds should move away tomorrow. The high pressure builds in. We have a nice sunny but very cold day. We're in the core of the air mass tomorrow, so the temperature is only going to, despite the sun, we're still only going to be struggling to get to 20 degrees. And then that high starts moving offshore Thursday, and that is going to bring in some milder areas, like a little disturbance offshore that forms. Nothing crazy, but that's not going to really affect us at all, except maybe some clouds. So first we'll go to the sounding here. 16Z sounding will be fine. Let's take it over Suffolk County. Those lines are pretty far apart, so that should indicate clear skies. It should be indicating clear skies for us tomorrow. So let's look at our dew points and wind flow. And you can see the winds turn from northwest to a little more of a north-northwest to north direction tomorrow, which is going to bring in the core of the cold air. Dew points probably getting below 0 tomorrow. It's going to be one of the really frigid but sunny day. All right, so the winds start off north, and it looks like they kind of bend to the west a little bit later on in the afternoon. And we will see some clouds kind of come in toward later in the afternoon, toward the evening. And then you'll see what happens Thursday. Those dew points rise a little bit as the core of the Arctic air moves away, though it's still going to be pretty dry air, dew points in the single digits. The winds become more westerly, though. It's more westerly, and that's going to bring in milder temperatures. Now, let's see what the HRRR has for tonight, the temperature. So we start the day in the morning. Depending on if those clouds clear out, will depend on how much radiational cooling we get. But if the clouds do clear out, then I think we'll be just as cold as last night, if not a little bit colder. So 0 or perhaps below 0 in the Pine Barrens to single digits in most other areas, I think. And then tomorrow, we struggle to make it to 20 degrees despite the sunshine. And then tomorrow night, because there'll be some clouds, it might put a lid on the radiational cooling. But if we don't have the clouds, or they're just high clouds, then tomorrow night actually we'll probably see really cold temperatures probably single digits in most areas, and perhaps again 0 or below in the Pine Barrens. And then Thursday, though, you see we moderate. We're still going to stay below freezing, but the highs will be in the upper 20s to around 30. So some 10 degrees warmer than for Wednesday. So it won't feel quite as cold. The good news in all this is, as you see, we're not getting a lot of wind. So although it's cold out there, the winds aren't too bad at all. So let's go to the RGM for the skies. And we actually have the latest one, so I guess we can use the latest one. So here's the RGM. You can see those clouds do push away by morning. They might hang on a little bit, extreme southern Jersey, but I think they push away. We'll have a mostly sunny day. And then you can see here that we do have some higher clouds kind of rolling in a little later on in the day. But those look like mainly higher clouds, so they probably won't stop the radiational cooling all that much. So I think tomorrow night might wind up being colder. Thursday morning might actually wind up being colder than tomorrow morning if we do get the radiational cooling. And then for Thursday, we'll see more in the way of clouds for Thursday on the RGM. However, there are different models, different opinions. Let's look at the GFS. GFS is a little different for tomorrow. Let's go over here. It hangs the clouds on. I don't know why the GFS does that. The NAM does not do that. So I'm thinking the clouds do push away tomorrow. I think we'll have a mostly sunny day, hopefully. So should be a nice day. But cold but sunny, but that's the kind of day I like, actually. Sunny, cold, and not much wind is a good day to be in the Pines. So that is going to wrap up this Long Island weather report. Have a good night.